Hello once again, back to the Frontrunners in Sport Management Conference. Before I start this keynote, I would like to thank once again the Active Media Group and the American College of Greece for putting sustainability in the forefront of sport management discussions as every major, I would say, European and global conference in the last few years, because sustainability is not just a trend, but it's one of the most important things that we discuss during the last years for the future of sports. So I was, before I developed this keynote, I was in a big dilemma. Usually in my presentations, I like to provide the audience with the general picture of how sustainability has come, how it progresses, and where it goes. So the overall picture in order to understand. But in this case, I think that excuse me. Do you still hear me? Because it's a video playing. This year, actually, I thought that all the panels focusing on social responsibility, environmental sustainability, marketing, sustainability practices, and ESG, and all the experts would be able to provide you with insights on every single aspect of sustainability. So I thought that it would be more beneficial for all the students and professionals that follow this conference to provide them with concrete examples of applied work in the industry in order to understand what sustainability means in practice for us, but also get ideas and insights on how they can actually implement sustainability in action. So without any further introduction, I will speak about the work that we are doing with the sports footprint in the Greek sports industry landscape, but also in a European and global scale. In a nutshell, we are a blend of creative minds with unique backgrounds, with different backgrounds, and we join forces to make sports more sustainable. But what that means in action, apart from these nice, catchy phrases, is what do we actually provide? Our services include four main pillars, and we are working on projects focusing on consulting, education, sustainability education specifically, marketing, and continuous support and project management. And let me break that down in smaller pieces, more specific, and provide you with more specific details. We help sport organizations to develop their ESG and sustainability strategy. We help them to, during their event planning, to make it as sustainable as possible from the inception to the execution with minimal environmental impact and a positive public image. Engaging, though, with all the relevant stakeholders like international sport federation, sponsors, funds, you name it. Finally, we help them to do an effective sustainability reporting, as Josephine Tranberg mentioned in the first panel. Measuring the impacts and reporting on those stakeholders is a key aspect of sustainability. On our second pillar, on our second services includes education, where interactive seminar, hands-on workshop, tailor-made educational programs, and of course, youth engagement initiatives are on the forefront of this pillar. You, on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see the initiative called Football is the Answer, which was a workshop combining this youth engagement and hands-on workshops, as I mentioned before, with our client, the Hellenic Football Federation. Moving on to marketing services, we really believe, as this conference showcases, that sustainability should be actually communicated, especially in the sports industry, and that's the biggest advantage of sports, to communicate and market their sustainability efforts to the millions of participants and fans. So we try to develop strategic marketing campaigns, PR events and action, sponsorship activations, engage with the sponsors community in effective sustainability activation, and obviously help with green branding and messaging. Finally, last but not least, we do project management and facility management. We help the infrastructure to run sustainably and efficiently with digital monitoring platforms, with real-time data collection, and obviously the sustainability project oversight. But let me be a bit more specific. Why should you care about all these things? For us, there are four pillars, four cornerstones of why a sport organization or a corporation should care in implementing sustainability in sports. Obviously, we start by brand image elevation, connecting your brand with high valued principles like sustainability, innovation, environmental protection, which leads to stakeholder engagement, connecting with the international sports ecosystem, and developing in this regard new market opportunities, meeting the specifications of high visibility sport events, and finally, the return on investment, maybe most importantly for a corporation and the for-profit sector, cutting operational costs, making short period of returning the initial investment, and diversifying revenue streams. Let me be more specific with the amazing organizations that have already trusted us, ranging from federations, the two largest federations in Greece, the Football and Basketball Federation, and globally Kazakhstan Skating Federation, two venues, the Olympic Athletic Center of Athens, and educational organizations such as the International Olympic Academy, the Athens University of Economic and Business, and the Football Business Academy, towards sport professional organizations such as the IKFC, one of the largest professional football clubs in Greece, and Navarino Challenge and Pledgeball gives us a range of organizations that are on this sustainability journey, as very correctly pointed out before, to actually become more environmental and social conscious. And finally, I will provide some specific examples of our recent and relevant initiatives and projects with Navarino Challenge, one of the biggest or one of the largest sport and wellness events in South Europe, where we developed a waste management strategy, sustainability sponsorship activations such as cleaning the Yalova beach and using this material actually to produce medals and merchandising made by seaweed and recycled plastic. Related to Josephine Tranberg comment before on measuring the environmental impact, project in association and funded by the Hellenic Football Federation and UEFA to measure the carbon footprint of Greece versus Ireland football match for Euro 2024 qualifiers. Luckily, Greece won that match. But this doesn't mean that it was a quite substantial amount of emissions associated with this particular game. And it couldn't be avoided to mention the Hellenic Basketball Federation partnership, where we are responsible, as Zacharias mentioned before, to develop a sustainability strategy for reducing GHG emissions, complying with the United Nations Sport for Climate Action framework, and engaging with key stakeholders on sustainability. Moving back to education, before we close this presentation, education and in interactive workshops on sustainable stadium management, that actually is one of my favorite projects, where we combine social integration and environmental sustainability by giving more than 50 people, immigrants who immigrated to Greece, the applied skills of the applied practical skills required to work on a modern football facility in Europe and be able to implement sustainable operations, so that would boost the employability of those people coming from outside Europe and smooth social integration while focusing on environmental sustainability in sports. More hands-on workshops and educational programs with ESG and Sustainability Sprint in collaboration with the International Olympic Academy, and the Athens University of Economics and Business, focusing on sustainability in sports and data analytics, which is a vital thing, and also focusing on football with the well-known Football Business Academy. IKFC Academy players, a lot of education, and outside of Greece, also in a global scene, going to SOS villages in Ghana and doing sustainable development goals program through football, using the power of football to provide these powerful messages. So that was all from my side. I thought that I hope that I achieved the aim of providing you with some very practical examples on how we implement sustainability, so that we can move this discussion further, asking us questions, criticizing our efforts, and developing more projects towards this direction. So in case you have any questions or comments or concerns, feel free to get in touch, and let's hope for a more insightful panels to follow up, to give us more insights on environmental sustainability and ESG in the world of sports. Thank you very much for your attention.